know. Hi, welcome to another, it's now a mid-May Friday, and two of my fellow gardeners are insisting they don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to their creative antics. Well, I'll let them discuss things as they will. But in any event, so here's the latest update here. So some in-depth watering and reflection looking at where we're at, and some big changes. You can sort of see right over here first that the artichoke is no more. Basically, it was definitely looking sad last week, and something has gotten below it. We're thinking something has burrowed down below. We're not too sure what. We know there's been some digging evidence here in the past, so we basically trimmed this away as much as we possibly could. Now, these ones here are not looking totally hot themselves, of course. However, a lot of that could have just simply been as it was when it was hidden away, so you never know there.
Artichoke. Any questions?
That wasn't a very arty choke. It was incredibly guileless, I must note, and all that, so lacked texture. Anyway, I'll let the murderers keep on as what they do. They seem to thrive on that. So, with that in mind, so right over here, looking at the roses and everything, doing very well as they can, as always. And society garlic, so some extra trimming will be done here with some of this, and we're going to be doing maybe a little bit of extra infrastructure change and things in a sec. We need to be digging out some old stakes and things that are under here. Whoops, watering coming this way, so yeah, they're happy down there. So in the back down here, everything is going along a lot more wonderfully, really. So starting with the edamame. As you can see, it's now sort of hit a new high. I mean, it's a lot of new growth that's happened right here. Admittedly, it's been a week, but it's definitely sort of exploded up a bit. Similarly with the sort of volunteer tomatoes that ended up here that are now coming along pretty well, so we'll be able to see more of that. The smaller edamame, the batch that didn't quite take that was over here, still is producing some of it, so some better than none, but it's good to see we've got a little balance here. Over here where the irises are, we also have one of the tomato plants that was over here where the squash was. We transplanted it over here because we figured it would need the extra help. Down here is again where the peppers have been planted. Still nothing quite as yet, but we're keeping an eye out. This was the spot that was ravaged with the earlier planting of the beans, so we're going to cross our fingers and see what happens. The reason why we moved the tomato over here and another tomato plant is the squash, which is just phenomenally successful, as you can see. Taking up this whole bed now, so massive growth. This will probably just keep going. We might probably even have to trim back a bit here. Looking down in, quite a few. You can see some blossoms there. Some initial baby squash are coming along. They'll be huge soon enough. You can see down there, there's one, and then that right there. So much more will be coming along. So pretty much we'll be in Squash City here, whether we like it or not, but we do like it, of course, so that'll be grand. Over here is where another one of the tomato plants, a smaller one, has been put in. It's already grown up to some degree, so this will give it a chance to sort of give it some extra impetus. We do have down here is where the greens again had been planted. Still nothing yet. Beginning to think this might just be another dud. I hope not, but it is looking questionable. So maybe this bed, or at least this part of the bed, is cursed. Hopefully the move over there won't affect that too much. Over here, nothing really much. The tulips are sort of like winding down. Need to do a little bit of weed picking here. Here's the one plant that was planted here that seems to be going, so we may get something. We'll just keep an eye on how that goes, but there is some now actual growth there. I believe this is one of the flowers you planted, so we may get a little small something there. Nothing with the leeks yet so far. This is the other sort of big planting that was done right here that we're still waiting on something. If there's anything there, it's just unclear. We've been giving it good watering, but really nothing as yet, so who knows? It could just be under the bed or just simply things don't take. So first the sorrel, then the leeks, who knows? Maybe we'll just have to dig up and start this one fresh again at some point. Rosemary is doing very well. There's been some new growth, some new greenery. It feels and looks sort of a little thicker now, so it's definitely now starting to take. So looking forward to that coming along. The beans, meanwhile, doing spectacularly, as you can see. Some great new growth right here, so all coming along very well. So the bush beans will do nicely. Similarly, the carrots over here, the older batch, right here, really starting to come through. And then the newer ones, plenty of small growths there, have sort of been beaten down by the watering, but they'll pop up again soon enough. Over here, the batch of beans that we have, the ones that we took away from the cage over this to give them some extra protection have definitely been munched a little more. So I'm beginning to think now that there are some critters who are really deciding to enjoy these beyond the bugs. Unfortunate, but we'll keep an eye out. Hopefully there won't be any sort of extra problems there. But on the bright side, this batch over here is doing very well indeed. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully these guys will get so big that that will sort of compensate for any nibbling on as they go. We'll keep watering and keep looking at them. Finally, what's left of the radishes, not many, probably a couple here we can grab, and we'll see where we go from there. And then over here, the three main tomato plants all doing incredibly well. So the center one and this one over here doing extremely nicely. This other one a little smaller, not quite as successful, but nonetheless, it seems to be coming along. So we'll definitely have some more tomatoes here as growth goes on. So we'll be doing some extra cleaning up work and some infrastructure work here in a bit. As usual, keeping an eye on the side areas here, keeping everything scraped clean of all the green, and doing some work. Our neighbors, again, doing very nice work here. Everything looking lovely. Everything looking definitely a little more cleaned up over there in the walkway too. It was getting a little furry, a little green, but everything's now looking much better shape. And so that means we're just doing nicely as always. So we'll just see where things go. This will be the last report from me on a Friday for a while. I will be away the next two consecutive Fridays on visits up north, and my Tuesday visits are sort of being covered now by our friend and co-gardener Mary Ann, who's able to swing by in the middle of the week and keep an eye on things. And so it'll be maybe a little while before I post another one of these, but I'll keep folks updated as we do. And next time I do see this on a Friday, it'll doubtless look much different. We'll see where things go. Until next time, I'll talk to you all.